this is one quote that we should pay attention to. Let me just find it. Sorry, just a second.
We got plenty of time.
This is a Trump quote. He published it on Truth Social. Perhaps this particular sentence explains the whole thing from the Trump point of view. Okay, it was determined by all, very important, that the best way to end the horrific war between Russia and Ukraine is to go directly to a peace agreement, which would end the war, and not a mere ceasefire agreement, which oftentimes do not hold up. So in one sentence, he buries NATO, the EU, and Kiev.
Yeah.
We never heard this from Trump before, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
And this happens to be exactly the Russian position. If you see all those spectacular tweets by Medvedev on X, basically this is what Medvedev is saying. This is what Lavrov has been saying for over a year. And this is what Putin has been saying since June last year.
Yeah, actually, I heard today, I think it was Alexander Mercouris or one of the Duran boys, or Alex Christoforou, said that the Europeans had actually come out now today and basically endorsed that view of a peace agreement as opposed to insisting on a ceasefire.
It's part of a Toxic Medusa post. Yes, I read the post a few hours ago. It's amazing. This is something that the European Commission never put it this way. Of course, first of all, if you have an IQ over room temperature, to quote our great friend Martyanov, by now you have noticed that your strategic defeat as Europeans is total and irreversible.
Yeah.
So you might as well try to readjust your position. They'll never admit it, but at least readjust the position.
Sure.
Considering that they are manual and they are not table. And finally, they're starting to get the picture. Okay, we have to go along with it. Of course, then if you go to Merz, you go to Macron, they continue to say the same bullshit, including today. But now this comes from the European Commission, which is much more powerful than any nation-state government. So this means there's an enormous difference now. We haven't heard on the same terms from NATO yet, but you can bet that from today to Monday, sorry, our show is on Monday, right?
Yeah, so this will be up on Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking, for everybody to know, we're talking on Saturday afternoon.
So Tutti Frutti or Rudy is going to adjust his position as well.
Yeah.
There's no question. And he's much more relevant than the European Commission. So, wow, the immediate impact of the summit is already in front of us. Another thing entirely, as you know very well, how to sell a peace agreement in caps, as was written by Trump in his post, to the U.S. ruling classes, to the deep state, to the neocons, to the Atlanticist gang, to the Europeans, to NATO, EU, and to Kiev.
Mm-hmm.
It's practically impossible, right?
Yeah.
Which brings us to, there must be a plan B already in the works, from Trump's point of view and from Russia's point of view. And maybe we could have a very, very quick conclusion about it. Plan B for Trump is, I did everything that I could. You, Europeans, you want to continue the war against Kiev? Very simple. It's your problem now. I have nothing to do with this. The United States has nothing to do with it. Of course, there is a condition. You have to buy all our weapons, pay in euros from now on, non-stop. Then it's your war, no problem. Trump knows that NATO and the EU, both, they cannot at the same time financially and militarily continue the war. Even one of these vectors is already enormous problematic. Can you imagine carrying both at the same time? They can't.
Right.
Are they going to go to major international banks and get money that they don't have, paying absurd interest rates to continue a war that they know they intimately know that it's already lost. And with which weapons? There are not enough weapons, even inside the U.S., as you know very well, Larry.
Oh, yeah. The 7 years. Hey, you've got a 7-year, you're on the 7-year wait list.
Exactly. So this should be the plan B. And plan B for Moscow is very, very simple. We continue to do what we're doing.
Yeah. They don't have to stop until
this decided in the battlefield. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It is being decided right now in the battlefield. We'll continue like that. And the possibility of this front line crumbling in the next 3-4 months is going up every day.
Yeah, very, very. Yeah, I think quicker than that. Candidly, I'm going to talk to General Brzezinski next Friday.
Okay,
get his take.
Yeah, and he has fresh information from the front lines.
Yeah. He's. I remember when the last time I interviewed him, I asked him, because it seems to me that there are 9 basic bridges, railroad bridges over the Dnieper River, and you take those down, you cut off the logistics. Basically will force
the
Ukrainian army to starve. And I said, why hasn't Russia done that? And he laughed and said, I've been asking that myself. Which was hilarious. But then, as we got into it, it appears that at least in the initial stages, first year, 2 years of the war, Russia did, if they feared if they did that, they would have left the bulk of the Ukrainian army west of the Dnieper. And your goal is to demilitarize. That doesn't demilitarize. That just makes it more difficult for you to demilitarize.
Mm-hmm.
But now it appears that they've reached that stage where they can start disrupting those lines of communication, as they're called, taking down bridges, blowing up railroad lines, and shutting down their ability to resupply the forces on the front.
Because now the Ukrainian army is largely demilitarized.
Yeah.
And it took, considering the Russian way of doing war, attritional war, this takes time.
Yeah, the last numbers I saw were that the Ukrainians are down to about 300,000 troops on the front lines, and Russia's got 650,000.
Plus, anybody that they can call another 100,000 to 200,000 like this if they need it.
Yeah, they've got probably at least another 600,000 to 700,000 reserves.
Yeah,
already in the pipeline.